Cooper Rush now 4-0 as the Dallas Cowboys starter. Chris, he became the first guy in the history of the National Football League to win his first 4 starts at quarterback and have a passer rating of greater than 90 in each of those wins. And he's only the 6th undrafted quarterback in the Super Bowl era to start his career 4-0. Tony Romo, who was undrafted, didn't even do that. Dak is working his way back. You know, I love your point about how the offense is more balanced and diverse when Cooper Rush is in there, and maybe they need to do that when Dak comes back. I just wonder whether they're going to let it ride one more week with Cooper Rush and see what he can do against the Rams before bringing Dak back for that Sunday night game against the Eagles.
Yeah, I wouldn't force it if I'm Dallas. Not right now. And you hear Dak Prescott. I know he even, told the announcers during the Sunday telecast that he had been pushing it too hard and that his thumb was a little more swollen than he'd like. Again, this is a big play. The one thing we've seen from Dallas is they're a playoff football team. They're a playoff contender. There's no doubt. I misjudged their talent, certainly. Their defense is real, and their offense, now with Michael Gallup back, is, got a chance to be damn good. But this is where, I'm a little frustrated. Cooper Rush, very good. All right? Yes, I know it's 4-0, and we're going to give the quarterback the wins, right, and all that crap. And the quarterback rating's great, and I understand that too. And quarterback rating, we got to start challenging that a little bit because I don't know what the hell it means anyways. I look at Mahomes' quarterback rating and go, I don't know if I saw a quarterback play better last week than anybody than him, but yet his quarterback rating's in the 90s, and the guy that he played against and beat and purely outshined had a way better quarterback rating. So there, quarterback rating can kiss my ass a little bit on that one there. But then at the same time, too, here's my other thing, Mike, that bothers me a little, right? Yeah, my pet peeve. The offense changes when the backup comes in. Oh, we got to do things to help them, and we got to play the right way for us just to win the game. Do that when the starter's in. Don't go fall into that pressure. And we're making a bigger deal of the Cooper Rush thing. They're going to need Dak Prescott. Listen, if Dak Prescott put up the same stat line that Cooper Rush has put up the last 3 weeks, we'd all be going, should we be concerned about the Cowboys and Dak Prescott? They're not looking very explosive on offense. Should we be concerned about Prescott? Should he be making $45 million a year, right? Because Cooper Rush, the stat line's not special. But for some reason, the expectation level's lower. And as long as we get the win and don't look like a total idiot on the football field, we start to go, well, this guy's really good. Oh, my gosh. And I just want to go, hey, it's been solid. There's no doubt. I watched that game back, though, yesterday. I mean, he did his damnedest to throw about 3 interceptions that Washington lost. He threw 2 bad ones where he got lucky that there was a penalty that had nothing to do with the play. So my point is, Cooper Rush, good job. He's a backup quarterback, and when Dak Prescott gets in, they're going to be a better football team, especially when healthy. But don't rush it to I think, what you're saying. There's no point in throwing him out there right now at this point if he's not ready to go.
But your point is, when Dak Prescott comes back, let's have a more balanced offense. Let's not make it all about Dak.
Right.
Let's scheme to win games with Dak instead of just go do your thing, Dak.
Right.
Dak will save us.
Right. Dak
we
will save us.
We don't need any special plays for this game. Dak will save us.
And we have to throw for 400 every week. We have to throw for that just because we're paying you all this money, and we have CeeDee Lamb and we got Michael Gallup, and just because we have that, we're not going to play to the strength of our team, and we're just going to throw it to justify the money and resources we've spent in that department. And that's what I feel like, and the media too, back off. This is the way they need to play when Dak gets back. If Dak has to play Tom Brady, New England Patriots 2003 type of football, then so be it. Just win the damn game. But yes, don't fall in the trap of we got a $45 million quarterback and we got to throw it 50 times a game for 5,000 yards. No, you don't. And wins and success are going to shut up all that outside chatter.
Now, look, even without Jerry Jones saying the things he said a couple of weeks ago about how he'd love to have a quarterback dilemma, even without that, Dak would probably be pushing to come back.
Yeah, right.
But you can't help but wonder whether he's pushing a little harder to come back because of the noise, because he feels compelled to justify his contract. And it kind of plays into Jerry's hands to see what he's got in Cooper Rush. I think that he's got to believe he found another Tony Romo at a time when he doesn't need a Tony Romo. He needed a Tony Romo back when Tony Romo emerged because Drew Bledsoe was on the last legs and he was done. And they'd had Romo in their back pocket for a while. And I remember here in 2003, 2004 timeframe, he was undrafted in 03. I remember hearing in 04 about this guy named Tony Romo that the Cowboys really love.
Yeah, right.
And it's like, who's Tony Romo? And 2006 is when they pulled out Bledsoe, put in Romo, and the rest was history. But, you know, that's the difference. You've got Dak Prescott in year 2 of a 4-year, $160 million contract. This is not the time to stumble over Tony Romo. So I'm fascinated by what the Cowboys are going to do about this, what this sample size, however many games Cooper Rush plays, what it means when the next Dak Prescott contract is due. You know, is there a point where they make a big decision to pivot from Dak Prescott to Cooper Rush? Not now, but after 23, 24, maybe even after 22. It complicates things for the Cowboys.
I mean, I hear you. There's going to be this buzz around it until Dak, you know, gets back and shows why he's the man there. You know, and Cooper Kupp certainly with this performance and what he's done has bought himself another 6-8 years in the NFL of being a premier backup or maybe a bridge-type starting quarterback. But he's not a difference-making quarterback. Not like Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott has shown the ability to carry the team when the team is not very good. Cooper Rush is just a cog in the bigger machine of which the Dallas Cowboys are. And again, let's not forget, they won and beat the Bengals because of their defense and all the sacks. And then they played the Giants, which we know are they're squeaking by, the ugliest 3-1 team in football. And then, oh no, let me write home about the Commanders and dust up Del Rio and that defense and that crappy offensive line. Come on. So I'm not ready to, you know, write home about Cooper Rush as the savior for the Cowboys yet.
I got to make one more point, though, because when they won 3 Super Bowls in 4 years, what category did their quarterback fall in?
Well,
Dak
right.
or Cooper Rush?
Well, it was that way, that style of play, but it was more big-time talent playing the Cooper Rush type of football.
Right.
I hear you.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.